You've heard these your entire life, from your parents, from your teachers, from every financial advice article that's ever been written for people like you. And here's the thing that makes them so dangerous. They're not obvious lies. They're not the kind of thing where you hear it and immediately think something's off. They sound responsible. They sound like the kind of advice a smart person would give. That's exactly why they work. And that's exactly why millions of middle class people do everything right. Follow every rule, hit every milestone they were told to hit, and still end up wondering why they never actually get ahead. My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time thinking about why people who work hard, earn decent money, and make reasonable decisions still end up financially stuck. Today, we're going through 7 of the most common money lies the middle class has been told to believe. Not because the people who told you these things were evil, but because a belief doesn't have to be malicious to be wrong. And wrong beliefs about money cost you real money. Every single month. Let's get into it. Lie number 1. Your home is your best investment. You've heard this one so many times it feels like gravity. Of course, your home is an investment. Everyone says so. Your parents said so. Your real estate agent definitely said so. Here's the part nobody finishes the sentence with. The average home in America has appreciated roughly 4% per year over the last century. Sounds decent until you subtract inflation, which runs around 3% historically. Your real return is about 1% per year. That's before you factor in property taxes, insurance, maintenance, and the interest you paid on a 30-year mortgage. When you run the full math, a lot of homeowners haven't built wealth through their home. They've just stored money in an illiquid asset while paying a bank hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest for the privilege. That doesn't mean buying a home is always wrong. It means it's not automatically your best investment. Your 401k, quietly compounding at 8% annually in the background while you argue about whether to renovate the kitchen, is almost certainly outperforming it. The lie isn't that homes have value. The lie is that owning one excuses you from investing everywhere else. Lie number 2. You need to spend money to make money. This one gets used to justify almost anything. The business class flight because you need to arrive fresh. The expensive suit because first impressions matter. The luxury car because clients are watching. And look, context exists. Some investments in your professional image or your business make real sense. But for most middle class people, this lie functions as a permission slip to spend money they don't have on things that don't move the needle, wrapped in the language of strategy. The research on this is pretty uncomfortable. Studies consistently show that clients, employers, and business partners make decisions based on competence and reliability, not on whether your watch costs $300 or $3,000. The person across the table is thinking about whether you can solve their problem, not about your car. The version of this lie that does the most damage is the one applied to lifestyle. You work hard, you deserve the nice apartment, the new car, the regular dinners out. You're investing in your quality of life. Maybe. Or maybe you're spending the money that was supposed to invest in your actual future on a present tense version of yourself that looks successful but isn't building anything. Lie number 3. Debt is normal. Everyone has it. This one is technically true and completely destructive at the same time. Yes, most people carry debt. The average American household has over $100,000 in total debt when you include mortgages, car loans, student loans, and credit cards. So, in the sense that it's common, debt is normal. But normal and optimal are not the same thing. Here's what normalized debt actually costs you. If you carry $8,000 in credit card debt at 22% interest and make minimum payments, you'll pay nearly $10,000 in interest before it's gone. That's more than the original balance. That's money that could have compounded in an index fund for 20 years. The true cost isn't $8,000. It's closer to $50,000 in lost future wealth. The lie isn't that debt exists. The lie is that because it's common, it's fine. It's not fine. It's one of the primary mechanisms keeping middle-class households from building anything that lasts. Debt is a tab your future self has to pay, and your future self is going to be very tired. Lie number 4, you just need to earn more. This is the most seductive lie on the list because it feels empowering. You don't have a spending problem. You have an income problem. The solution is more hustle, a side business, a promotion, a career pivot. And sometimes that's true. Income matters. Earning more genuinely helps. But study after study shows the same pattern. Lifestyle expands to meet income. You get a raise. Within 18 months, you're spending the raise. You feel roughly as financially comfortable as you did before because the expenses adjusted upward with the earnings. There's a term for this: lifestyle inflation. And it quietly erases the financial benefit of almost every raise the middle class ever receives. The uncomfortable truth is that most people who feel broke on $60,000 would also feel broke on $90,000 if they never changed their relationship with money. The number on the paycheck changes, the habits don't, so the feeling doesn't. More income is an accelerant. But if the bucket has holes in it, a bigger hose just means you're pouring more water in, while it drains out the same way it always did. Lie number 5. Renting is throwing money away. This one has probably cost middle class households more money than almost any other belief on this list because it pushed people into buying homes they couldn't comfortably afford. It made them feel ashamed of renting. It framed a financially reasonable decision as a personal failure. Here's the actual math: when you rent, you pay for housing and you pay nothing else. No property taxes, no maintenance reserve, no homeowner's insurance on the structure, no PMI, no interest on a 30-year loan. When you buy, you pay all of those things plus interest. In the first years of a mortgage, the majority of your payment is interest. You are, technically, throwing a significant amount of money away, just to a bank instead of a landlord. Now, buying can absolutely make sense. Long time horizons, stable markets, affordable prices relative to income. There are real scenarios where buying wins. But renting while investing the difference is a completely legitimate wealth building strategy that almost nobody with a financial stake in your decision will ever suggest. Because nobody earns a commission when you put money in an index fund. Renting isn't failure, it's a choice. And for a lot of people in expensive markets, it's the smarter one. Lie number 6. You should pay off all debt before you invest. This sounds responsible. It sounds like exactly what a financially disciplined person would do. And in some cases, it's right. High interest debt, anything above 8% or so, should almost always be eliminated before you invest aggressively. The math is simple. You can't reliably earn 22% in the stock market. So paying off a credit card charging 22% is the better guaranteed return. But the middle class version of this lie goes further. It says pay off everything. Car loan at 4%, student loan at 5%, mortgage at 3.5%. Get completely debt-free before you touch an investment account. Here's what that actually costs you. If you spend your entire 30s paying off a 3.5% mortgage instead of investing in a market that historically returns 8%, you've given up 5 percentage points of annual return for decades. The compound interest math on that decision is genuinely brutal. Worse, if your employer offers a retirement match and you're not taking it because you're focused on debt elimination, you're turning down a 50 to 100% guaranteed immediate return. No debt payoff strategy on earth competes with that. The right answer isn't pay everything off first. The right answer is eliminate high interest debt, capture every dollar of employer match, and then make a judgment call based on your actual interest rates. Lie number 7. You're not a money person. This is the quietest lie on the list and probably the most damaging. It usually starts early. You weren't good at math. Your family didn't talk about money. Finance feels complicated and intimidating and like something other people understand, but you just don't. And so you disengage. You let the 401k sit on whatever default settings HR assigned it. You don't negotiate your salary because you don't know what to ask for. You avoid looking at your accounts too carefully because it creates anxiety and you don't know what to do about it anyway. Here's the truth: personal finance is not complicated. The core principles fit on an index card. Spend less than you earn, eliminate high interest debt, invest consistently in low cost index funds. Give it time. That's most of it. The complexity is largely manufactured by an industry that profits from your confusion. Complexity sells products. Simplicity doesn't. You don't need to be a money person. You need about 4 hours of genuine education and the willingness to set up a few automatic transfers. That's it. The rest is noise designed to make you feel like you need help you have to pay for. Here's what all 7 of these lies have in common. They keep you participating in a financial system that benefits from your confusion, your debt, your inaction, and your belief that you're not capable of doing better. None of these lies were necessarily told to you maliciously. Most of them were passed down by people who believe them genuinely. But a belief that costs you money every month is still costing you money whether it came from a good place or not. The middle class isn't broke because it doesn't work hard enough. It's broke because it's been given the wrong map. You can work as hard as you want with the wrong map. You'll still end up somewhere you didn't intend to go. Now you have a better one.